welcome back, Rankers. You having a good week? Back on the 7th of February, there was an update, and there was a lot of chatter online, and I didn't chat about it at the time because there wasn't a lot of data about. Since then, we've collected a lot of data because we went and had a look. We found some clients actually went up and had really good upticks in traffic. Others, they had a little bit of a blip, a little bit of a drop, but most clients, by and large, weren't affected by it. Found some interesting things that you might want to go and have a look at on your own sites, though, for this change around the 7th of February. The site that I'm going to use to look at is Digital Photography School. Now, you can see here back on the 3rd of February, Digital Photography School had 2 entries in the top 10 for portrait photography. They then went to number 1 on the 4th. And the number 1 result dropped down to number 4, and then they went back. They dropped back, but you can see now we've only got 1 entry. All right, and they'd had 2 entries for a long time. Only 1 entry now, and I've seen this with a couple of other clients too, where they've had more than 1 entry in the search results. Now Google's only showing 1. Now for some clients, they went up because of that. Other clients, they went down. So one of the morals of this story is that when you go and have a look at these things, if you've got some search results where you've got more than 1 entry appearing on page 1, you're probably splitting the authority of one of those pages, meaning that you're probably making one of those pages less authoritative because you've got 2 that Google thinks are about equal. If you can combine them into 1, or if you can somehow make one of them more authoritative by linking more to it or something like that, then that's going to help one of them rank higher rather than 2 of them sitting there in the same search result. And I think that's what's happened to some extent with this update. Now, one of the other traps you can fall into when you're looking at stuff like this is making certain assumptions to say that you know, correlation equals causation. So, for instance, photo.net today is nowhere in the top 100 for portrait photography. Yet, you know, a week ago, there it is at number 5, and it was number 1. So what's happened to it? Well, when you go to the page that's ranking, or was ranking number 1, it's a 404. Right, so these guys have just lost all that traffic. So there's that problem. So then you might say, well, you know, not in the top 100. Well, wouldn't Google just take another page if that one was a 404? Not necessarily, and certainly in this case it hasn't. And the other thing that is interesting about photo.net, and I don't know this site at all, is it looks to be low quality, and that would tie into what Glenn was saying. So you can see here when I say low quality, we've got the same meta description because this is obviously a forum and these are all the users in the forum. Well, I'm assuming that's what it is. And so they've all got the same meta description, they've got the same, well, essentially the same page style except for their name. So that would be low quality because we're not giving the user enough information within the search results so they can make a decision about which page they want to click on. So I'd love to know if a couple of things, if you are seeing changes around the February 7th. Now, initially, I thought it had something to do with rich results, and I did tweet Barry Schwartz, who'd written about it, and also Glenn Gabe last week. And I said, have you guys seen anything to do with rich results? And Barry Schwartz said no. Glenn Gabe said, actually, we think it's something to do with quality. And with quality updates, he said, we always see rich results update as well, which makes sense. I'm leaning towards the quality, and the reason I was actually thinking rich results at the time, you can go and have a look at this yourself. This is just out of Search Analytics in Google Search Console. You can just go in here and select search appearance, and if you may not have this tab, depending on your site and whether Google's actually serving rich results for your searches and those sorts of things, it may or may not be there. But under search appearance, you're looking for rich results. Just have a look in there and then see if you get spikes like this around the 7th of Feb. I'd be interested to know if you did. And then for certain phrases, if you did have an uptick or if you had a downturn around the same time, see if you can, it's hard to go back retrospectively unless you've got a tool that's been tracking this. But if you know, for instance, that you may have had more than 1 entry for a certain search result, might be a good idea to go and check that search result to see if it's changed. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.